Want to get ahead and get rich? Well, then get organized. That's according to our next guest. He is David Allen, founder and president of management consulting firm, the David Allen Company. He's also the author of Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. David, you say cleaning up your act and getting organized is critically important when the job market's not looking so rosy, right?
Well, you know, everybody needs to be ready for change and ready for surprise. I think that's one of the biggest issues we've got is when new things show up or things you don't expect. Are you ready for that? So I think most people have some improvements in terms of how they could be ready for new things coming into their world that then they have to rapidly recalibrate and rethink and refocus.
Well, David, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say clean up the clutter, get organized, but when I do that, I automatically just fall into back to the bad habits of the business cards stacked on my desk. So why bother in the first place? Can somebody really change their habits?
Well, you can change your habits. Basically, we're not talking about neat necessarily, because neat and organized are not really the same thing. They're really two critical elements to how you manage yourself. You need to get organized and you need to get focused, whether that's a business meeting, whether that's your department, or whether that's just your kitchen when you're going to prepare dinner for your friends. You need to get organized and you need to get focused. And those are two different kinds of things you need to do. And you don't want to over-organize or over-structure, because if you get too controlled, you're going to be out of control yourself as well. You need to be loose and flexible. So you need to find that nice little balanced edge where you get just organized enough to give you the freedom to then be able to deal with surprise and be flexible and stay focused on what you need to stay focused on. And you can learn those habits. Actually, those are habits you actually already do. I mean, everybody already knows how to write things down, sort of look at things and make decisions about what to do. So it's not like there's some new technology or a foreign language you have to learn to be able to do it. You just need to do it a little more proactively and a little more consistently. I think the real key is most people.
Go ahead, David.
Most people need to make decisions a lot sooner than they do. That's one of the biggest issues is people let emails pile up and not decide what the stuff means to them. Otherwise, they won't know how to organize it until they do that. So people have to really learn the executive function all the way through. You know, people working in every level of the organization has got to learn, I think, a little more rigor.
Does email make it worse, though, because you have work that seems to, so much more work and responsibility that piles up on you these days?
Well, it can very easily make it worse because there's so much input coming in. I mean, you and I have gotten more input in the last 72 hours that could potentially create projects and change our priorities than our parents got in a month, some of them in a year. So what's new is how frequently everything is new. So that means we've got to develop personal skills about how to make executive decisions and organize and stay focused with a lot more rapid things coming at us. It's not really information overload. It's really meaning overload. What's in that email? What do I need to think? What do I need to decide about that?
Now, but to get ahead at work, which is really that's all people really want, isn't looking clean, like you've cleaned up and looking busy, more important than actually being organized and being productive? Just the appearance of it?
Well, it probably to some degree. I mean, I think a lot of people pay lip service to say, yeah, I don't care as long as you produce a result, I don't care how busy you look. But we know that's probably not true to some degree. But I think when you really get down to it, people are really after results, and that's really what they're going to base their opinions and base your talent on. Can you produce the result? So the whole idea is how do we produce results with less effort, and that's really what the productivity equation is going to be.
Give me one thing to do. Give me one thing to do to be more productive. Me.
Keep it all out of your head and decide next actions on any actionable item and, hold that in some rigorous system outside your psyche. Most people are trying to keep their system in their head as opposed to an externalized version of that. Mm-hmm. Then you use your mind to make good, strategic, intuitive choices. So the more you can externalize that stuff and keep your arms around it, you can only feel good about what you're not doing when you know what you're not doing. So getting that inventory of your commitments captured and clarified and clear and in front of you is going to make a big difference.
David Allen, thanks so much. I try and purge my head of all that by watching reality TV. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. David, thank you so much for being here.
Whatever works.
All right, take care.
Sure.